Kia ora, everybody. Tonight is just a follow-on from land succession video. So when I said that, everyone can succeed to their parent, I literally meant that. So the stories that, the old people tell, I guess their nieces and nephews or, grandchildren and children too, is that all land belongs to or is succeeded to only by the eldest brother. It may have been the case back in the day, but I can reassure everyone that that is not the case now. Depending on how many of you are biological children to either the father or your mother, all of you have to be succeeded. And for a lot of people, this is quite new information. Sweetie, it's not. The law is in place there to protect and or safeguard your interests. Now, so if you have, how many? 8 of you in a family, and the boy is the eldest, or the firstborn is a woman, and then you're told that, the boy is the only one that can succeed because he's the boy. That's not absolutely true. These are some of the myths and or stories that people used to tell their children and grandchildren, is that only the boys get to succeed because they have the surname, right? And that girls will marry and go with their families. This is not Tonga, where when you do marry, you have to go with your husband's family and or whatever, just stay away from there. No. It's from your family. But then again, it's not even like that in Tonga anyway. So I better just stick to what I know. And that is, regardless if you marry or not, right, you have every right to succeed. And if you are the eldest, that does not mean you are in charge of everyone. Necessarily, everyone has their place in the family. So for successions, if there's 8 of you, all 8 of you have to succeed. And then your father's share or your mother's share, that share you'll see in the register of titles, now that we know what that is, it will say shared equally. There are some times when some people are adopted by their grandparents, right? These are special, unique cases. I'm not too sure of that. However, I know for a fact that grandchildren who succeed directly to their grandparents have been adopted and or registered, so it is formalized. However, they too can also succeed to their parents, so they get, obviously a much bigger share. Now, the other thing that people talk about is that because the boys are the ones with the surname, they get a bigger share. Again, that's not true. When it says shared equally, that means each of you have exactly the same share and exactly the same say in all land matters, right? Because your name is registered on the title. Your name is on the title of land in this register. So you, all 8 of you, are landowners under your father or your mother's share. So I hope that's clear. Back in the days too, if you got married, you usually left your family and you went and you became, your husband's family's daughter-in-law. Times have changed, people. You have every right to come back to your family and claim land, which is why the term sometimes is misunderstood. Land marries land. And, for those of us who don't come from land-owning families, that is hard to understand. And, of course, for us today, in today's generation and just the generation before me, no, I can't even say that. Today's generation, you can marry for choice. You marry who you love, right? Back in the days with my grandparents, I can go just like my father and my grandparents. They married because they were told to marry certain people. So when you see these cases, it's not about, intermarriage and all these other things. Those issues still exist. However, it is nothing to be ashamed of, right? But at the same time, people use that as an excuse to intermarry, which is sometimes a bit weird to me. My grandparents tried and succeeded and broke that cycle. So why? So my father married a New Zealander a New Zealand Māori, because we needed to break the cycle and strengthen the stock. Granted, right now I don't have any children yet. Who knows? We might not. But that's another video, right? So all I'm saying is, if there's 8 of you, you can all succeed, right? And your father's share or your mother's share will be shared equally, divided by 8. If you come from a very, very big family, well, obviously those shares are depleted because there's 8 of you. So if we're talking about a quarter acre, it's 1,000 square meters divided by 8, which is, thank you very much for coming, but yeah. So what we do here is, this is what we do. We try and allocate. So one sibling or 2 siblings can share, and they'll build 2 houses or 1 house, But I guess for this video, I'm going to try and keep it short and try and keep within 10 minutes because we can go on and on and on about it. But I just wanted to reassure people that those days when the boys only were the ones who succeed and take the land, as well as the oldest were the only ones who could succeed to the land, is not true. Okay? And that if you are a sibling, you are definitely entitled the same as your older brother and your youngest. And the youngest also has a say. So in actual fact, what this does there next is challenge each and every single one of us, or we'll keep to this family of 8. You all have to look after each other. You all have to get on. You can have your own opinions about whatever, but that means this forces you to actually start working together and looking after one another. So that's all we have for now, and I'll come back later with another one. Ka kite.